was in a huge transformational stage of my life. My daughter had died a couple of years previously. That experience and the choice I made to go on the journey to find the gift in her death, the gifts in her life, her short little 2-day life, were immense and immeasurable. They were right there. They were just sprinkled all around me. Hello and welcome. I'm Sharon Gilmore Glover. I am thrilled to be your guide here on the Sharon Hour. Welcome. This is called Journey to the Sea. I wrote that song when I was on a train journey. I went from Ontario, the province I live in, to New Brunswick and then got on a bus and went to Prince Edward Island. The train trip was 28 hours, which is a long time to be sitting up in a train. And I was in a huge transformational stage of my life. My daughter had died a couple of years previously. That experience and the choice I made to go on the journey to find the gift in her death, the gifts in her life, her short little 2-day life, were immense and immeasurable. They were right there. They were just sprinkled all around me. I knew in order for me to thrive, I knew the gift, somehow I knew the gift was to go on the journey to find the gold in her death. And that's what I was doing at that point in my life. And I was doing a lot of learning about myself and how I had created a life for myself that seemed like such a good life. It was a good life. It was a very good life with very good people in it. It just was really not my life. It was a really good life for my sisters and other people I knew, but it was really not a good life for me. And now I was going on this journey of everything being obliterated. I literally felt, even though physically I was together, I felt like I had physically been blown into a billion pieces. And I was seeing my family doctor for support and grief counseling, along with another grief counselor who I'd finished with. And she said to me, you know, the building blocks of your life have been thrown up into the air and they haven't come down yet. And when they do, they're going to come down in a completely different order. And that's where I was. So there I am on the train from Kingston, Ontario to New Brunswick, waiting to get then on a bus to then get on my bike to do a month-long bike trip by myself in Prince Edward Island between teaching leadership in the summertime before going back to work full-time as a teacher. And I had learned through the power of myth to interact with life as a metaphor. When I felt like there were signposts, when I felt like there were cues, and when I had experiences that resonated deeply. And it didn't matter if they resonated deeply on the wow, this is so amazing scale or the this really sucks scale. And this is beyond, so I don't have words, it's so bad. When I connected with those as metaphor, I was able to grow and expand. And as this trip came up, my teaching partner, I'd been teaching at a leadership center, my teaching partner took me aside out of love and said, okay, what the hell is the matter with you? You are wound up so tight, you're going to send our group of students over the edge. What the hell? Like, what's going on? And this teaching center was located on hundreds and hundreds of acres of pristine wilderness in the near north of Ontario. We sat on the rocks by the lake and talked, and he said, you know what you need? I explained, you know, my daughter had died 2 years and then my marriage fell apart and I was lost in my career and everything I thought I wanted, I didn't want anymore. I didn't even know if I liked ice cream. Literally. I literally did not know if I liked ice cream. And when you don't know, if you don't like the mundane things in your life, the big things seem overwhelming. And so he said to me, you know what you need? You need to go take July and go on a bike trip. to Prince Edward Island. You need to just go to Prince Edward Island and lay on the beach. And the first words out of my mouth without even thinking were no. I don't have a bike. I don't know why I didn't have a bike. It was my main vehicle at the time all through university. But anyway, I didn't have a bike. He said, well, borrow mine. I'm not doing anything in July. You can have my bike. Anyway, I kept saying no. He went and talked to all our friends, my peers, the staff, and they all started coming up and saying, hey, we've got racks to put on Chris's bike. I hear you're going to Prince Edward Island. I'm not going to Prince Edward Island. Why would I go to Prince Edward Island? I don't have a bike. Oh, you're borrowing Chris's bike. And then we have bivouac. Anyway, they geared me all out, and I finally realized one day I had this blinding, I heard myself saying no, 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 no. I didn't, it was unconscious, it was reflexive. I didn't know why I was saying that, but I had done enough internal personal work that the conscious part of me finally got through and said, say yes. So I did. I started saying yes. The trip came together effortlessly. I got on that train, and that month in Prince Edward Island moved me forward in a tremendous way. Right this minute, I'm on a journey into the chemo suite. So we're not going to dive deeper right now, but two things I want to leave you with this Sharon few minutes. It's not a Sharon hour. And then we're going to dive deep. First of all, the spiritual concept of accept and allow. My spiritual mentor, Fred, who I hope you get to meet one day, keeps telling me that, well, you know, as humans, we divide things into things we like, things we don't like. And ultimately, when we can be at peace with both, then we have peace and life is fine. I'd just like to clarify before I go any further in case I run out of time. Accept and allow does not mean accept and allow abuse and mistreatment. If you are in a situation where whether it's people not being nice to you or friends who are not really friends, or worse, you are in you're in danger, you are being abused, you need to think about removing yourself from those situations and getting to a healthier place. I'm not talking about that. What I am talking about is learning to accept and allow the things that come to us and learning to say yes. One of the huge lessons that I learned, Prince Edward Island is a small place and it's a huge vacation destination place in Canada and for people around the world. So I was never really alone, but I had a lot of time in my tent alone in the evenings to write. And so I kept a journal, and I was able to start to uncover what were the unconscious beliefs that I had absorbed as a child that belonged to my parents, that made sense to them in their world in 1920s, 30s, and 40s England, that made no sense to me in my world in 1980s, 90s, 2000s, and the now where we are, the 2020s. I didn't realize that beliefs that did not belong to me were running my life. And by accepting and allowing this circle of my community of trusted people to come to me and say, hey, you're doing this and we're helping you, and finally accepting and allowing enabled me to expand and learn in a way that profoundly changed my life. If you're interested in learning more about accept and allow and saying yes, I strongly recommend the book, The Surrender Experiment by Michael Singer. He's a master, and the whole book, as well as his book, The Untethered Soul, is about spiritual freedom. And he documents his awakening process in The Surrender Experiment. Michael Singer is a spiritual teacher of depth and profound love, and has decades under his belt. He also founded and ran a public corporation, which is very interesting because we don't think of those going together. Thanks for joining me. I hope so much this enriches your life, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. This is called Journey to the Sea. I'm heading east towards the sun, and time slips through my hand, the grains of sand of my life I'm leaving behind. I look out the window, what do I see? Echoes of my past, looking back at me. And wheels, they keep on turning, moving me closer towards the sea. And rocking and shifting, movement unbalanced, I'm uncertain. With each step I take, I seem to falter. Still I move ahead towards the sea. Dawn creeps over the horizon, red, gold, and purple, a maritime morning. And dawn brings in a new light, clear illumination inside of me. A journey to the sea of self-discovery, a journey to the sea of self-discovery.